Hello everyone, I'm Eleonore.
And I'm Clara, and we are from Bielefeld University.
Together with our supervisors, Sina Zarrieß and Hendrik Buschmeier, we conducted a study to analyze the use of indirect politeness in disconfirming answers towards humans compared to robots.
In this presentation, we will briefly outline our experimental study that we conducted to elicit disconfirming answers.
To give you an example, when someone asks us if we like their cake, plainly answering no would be a clear disconfirmation. However, such a clear disconfirmation is considered impolite as it will probably hurt the feelings, or as called in politeness theory, the face, of the person who has baked the cake and asked for your opinion. So first, a few background information. There is a lot of research on politeness, but one very known theory looks at politeness strategies as being used to preserve the public self-image of a person, called face. The topic of politeness has also been looked at in human-robot interaction research when looking at how users behave when scholars found that users do in fact use politeness when interacting with an artificial agent.
In our data, we are explicitly looking at disconfirming answers in German. Previous research looked especially at the most face-threatening way to answer a question, which is a direct disconfirmation with the negative answer particle no, nein in German. It is rarely used without a mitigation strategy and therefore unusual to be standalone. We will be looking at the use of possible mitigation strategies in our data. To collect our data, we used the following method. We conducted an experiment where participants interacted with the robot. The interaction was under a pretense of a fake language test, which was explicitly designed to elicit disconfirmations.
After the language test, the robot told our participants, who were German native speakers, that their language skills were basic, which was intentionally negative to be face-threatening. After the feedback, the robot asked participants 6 evaluation questions. Afterwards, we, the study leaders, asked virtually the same 6 questions. The responses to these evaluation questions were analyzed in this paper. These are the questions that both the robot and we asked afterwards. In this talk, due to time reasons, we will concentrate on the last question of whether the participant found the assessment of their skills accurate. Keep in mind that the assessment, as we just said, was intentionally bad to elicit disconfirmations.
As a concrete example, consider this participant's response to the question.
Fandest du die Einschätzung deiner Fähigkeiten zutreffend?
Nein.
Ich bedanke mich für deine kritische Einschätzung.
As can be seen, the participants responds with the direct Nein, meaning no.
Overall, we had 3 categories in which all answers were coded. Either clear confirmations, clear disconfirmations, or indirect disconfirmations.
The example that you just saw showed a clear disconfirmation.
In this next example, the study leader asks the same question as the robot before.
Und fandest du die Einschätzung deiner Leistung zutreffend?
Die nicht. Ich hatte das Gefühl, irgendwie der Roboter hat mich niedriger eingeschätzt, als ich mich selber einschätzen würde.
Okay.
Obwohl ich schon, würde ich sagen, reflektiert dann eigentlich, was mein Können angeht.
Okay.
Compared to his previous answer to the robot, the answer is not only longer, but also contains politeness markers, such as filled pauses, hatches like irgendwie, meaning somehow, and elaborations.
So this is an example for our last category of indirect disconfirmations. These answers did not have to contain a negative answer particle such as no, but often made the negation clear due to elaborations. Further, we also categorized answer with positive answer particles in this category when they had disconfirming explanations or other disconfirming verbal strategies. Further, all unclear responses were also categorized as indirect disconfirmations, as they are considered to be very indirect to be face-saving. In Figure 2, in our paper, we have the quantitative overview of the different kind of responses that our participants gave to the different questions. So if we look closer again at the last question, we observed that more participants answered with a direct disconfirmation when talking to the robot, the dark green bars, than when talking to a human, the light green bars.
while the unclear disconfirmations on the right were used more with the human than with the robot.
Overall, in our data, we saw that when participants answered to the robot, they used more direct disconfirmations and generally more standalone answer particles.
When answering the question to a human, our participants generally used more indirect disconfirmations. In order to mitigate the phase threat, our participants used hedges, hesitations, and added explanations. These differences between mitigation strategies are also discussed in more detail in the paper. We offered two different possible explanations for the different use of politeness and indirect disconfirmations towards the robot and the human. One explanation could be that social concepts relevant in human-human interaction cannot be transferred to human-robot interaction. On the other hand, however, our results can also be interpreted as that participants did not believe the robot would be able to interpret the more subtle indirectness markers.
Our results therefore present evidence contradicting the theory that humans naturally interact with machines in the same way as with humans by using social linguistic strategies. You can find more details in the paper, and we are around at the conference, so don't hesitate to approach us or get in touch with us via email. Thank you very much for your attention.